Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me here today. This is Michael Landfield, and today I'm going to be talking about alcohol, smoking, alcohol and smoking, and how this is actually bad for us and creates more acidity within the body. Now, I've already created a video, but for some reason the audio wasn't working properly, so I'm going to be doing this again. And right now, just drinking some coconut water, fresh coconut water right from the coconut. And we get them here. I get them here for something like, I don't know, 20 cents US or something. So it's very, very cheap. It's like 200, almost 200 colones. So it's like 18, almost 19 cents actually per coconut US for one small to medium size coconut. Now, mm, sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're not so good. Depends. So, anyways, alcohol of any type, smoking of any type. Now, I'm going to be talking about this individually now. So, let's talk first about alcohol. So, alcohol is acidic, okay? People say that red wine is good to drink, and that's only because they heard it somewhere that red wine is good to drink. Now, the only thing good in that wine is actually the grapes. So red wine is very healthy because it has the antioxidants needed. The red is the antioxidants, but green grapes have little to no antioxidants, depending on how they're grown, of course. But red grapes have a lot of antioxidants. The color themselves, red or purple grapes or black grapes, have very, very high antioxidants and a lot of minerals and nutrients in them. So we should be consuming the grapes themselves. Okay. Now, trying to understand that they say moderate drinking is good because it, the grapes help you a lot. But once you drink more and more than moderate, then you start to get the effect from the actual alcohol itself. So alcohol is basically a fermentation process where we let, the mixture do its job for many days sitting closed, and it becomes more fermented and more fermented. But what that also means is that it actually becomes acidic. So any type of beverage that is fermented in any way, kombucha, any type of drink like that that is fermented, that has some kind of bubbles in it, things like that, is not good for us because they create acidity within the body. Now, people say, well, it's good because of da 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 da, and it's good because of whatever. And yeah, it may have some benefits, but the thing is, we have to consume foods that give us all benefits and no side effect. Now, we can eat as many organic strawberries as possible, and we won't have any effect unless we overconsume, and then we'll get like a sore stomach or something. But ultimately, if it's organically grown, if it's, there's no animal manure on it, things like that that can possibly get us, E. coli or things like that, um, then we are pretty much safe. If we're growing our own fruit and vegetables, we know practically if we're growing our own, practically we're getting the nutrients that we need and we can consume unlimited. I mean, who has ever died from eating or gotten sick from eating a lot of blueberries? Just eating, let's say, for example, blueberries for a whole breakfast on an empty stomach. Who has actually gotten sick from that? Not many people, unless we have eaten something before that hasn't digested properly, like cooked food in the previous day, or we have eaten something before that, or we have some kind of pre-existing condition or illness in our bodies. Okay. Otherwise, if we're pretty healthy and we're consuming, as much blueberries as we want in the morning, there's no effect, really. There's no harmful effect. However, when it comes to alcohol, there's always some negative effect. the alcohol itself is not good for us. We don't have to, you know, we don't have to debate over this or trying to find some scientific evidence that this is so. Alcohol creates acidity within the body. Okay, it probably even creates mucus and inflammation. Probably, I'm not sure, but I know it does create acidity within the body. The more acidic foods and beverages we consume, the higher risk for illness and disease that we have. Now, we may seem on the outside to be healthy, never get a cold, never get a flu, maybe cough once in a while, but nothing serious. And we go on and go on like that for decade after decade until one day we die from a heart attack. And we need to realize that alcohol may be the problem, but it's definitely it's one of the contributors to uh, creating havoc within our bodies. So we got to get rid of anything that creates acidity, inflammation, and mucus within the body. These three things. These three things are the worst things that we can possibly consume. Now, the fourth thing is that is the worst is high fat. Now, I still don't know if high fat raw vegan is the same thing or not. If actually that will contribute to increased risk in illness and disease, but from what I understand, the body's tissues and cells thrive on glucose. So mostly glucose, and there are some fructose as well that they thrive on, but in a natural whole form from fruits and vegetables, specifically from fruits, ripe, raw fruits. Okay, so if you're eating a yellow banana, if you're eating unripe avocado, if you're eating unripe whatever, then it becomes acidic within the body. So getting back to smoking, any type of smoke, I feel creates problem within the body. Over the years, the more I consumed fruit, the more fruit I consumed, and the more raw foods I consumed. So now I'm consuming virtually 100% raw food. But there are times when I go up and down with my consumption of cooked food to raw food. So for past many weeks, I've been fully raw. And what I understand is that anytime there is smoke around me, if it's from a cigarette, if it's from marijuana, if it's from even fire, even a bonfire, even if somebody's burning something or just burning wood like a campfire or bonfire, I noticed that, and a lot of other people I find that exhibit the same things, is that they get headaches and they also start to cough a lot. So that's why in our society we sneeze and we cough a lot. And a lot of people do because of the foods that we're consuming. We're not consuming pure foods, and I haven't consumed pure foods for years. And so, truly healthy foods, raw foods, I haven't been doing it for a long enough period. And so there still may be things, and of course I'm not growing all my food as of now. And so the foods are not totally pure. The totally purest food is if we are growing our own food in the best possible soil, in the best possible environment. If we're growing food in a polluted city, for example, and we're trying to do our best to grow our own food, of course, that's still good and really, 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 really good. But we're getting all that pollution as well from the city that we're living in. So it's always best to do our best to grow the most pristine foods that we possibly can. We know that cigarettes and cigars and all these other things that we inhale, even those what do they call them? They are those not puffers, but they're those inhalers, the ones that claim they're not harmful to us. But actually, if you look at the ads for these fake, I call them fake cigarettes because they're basically just cigarettes. They probably have, I mean, it depends on what you put in them. So you have to put something inside the cartridge. I don't really know how it works, but I've read a lot of information on them, and that they are not, um, overall, they're not healthy because taking in any smoke, taking in anything into our bodies, like a smoke substance, cannot be good for us. Now, I even, when people smoke that, I even cough as well. So these are not good. These puffers or fake cigarettes, whatever you want to call them, they're not good at all. Now, of course, when we talk about natural, pure, organic, or even veganic tobacco and smoking that, of course, that is much better. But is it actually beneficial for us? Now, tobacco itself may have some, natural tobacco may have some health benefits. May have, I'm not sure. If anybody can post down below some actual, real, clear scientific studies on just smoking tobacco itself, post down below, and I will check them out. But in sense, I don't think any smoke is beneficial because I notice that anytime I'm around smoke and even fire, like a propane fire from a stove, for example, that affects me in some way negatively. So I don't think smoking or inhaling any kind of smoke is beneficial at all. And that's why they say that secondhand smoke is really bad. And people say, well, because there's so many chemicals in there and additives, and that's why. And I feel that even the smoke itself, I mean, I talked to dozens and dozens of people, and the conclusion is that they gave me, the majority of people, is that inhaling any type of smoke, maybe from barbecue, maybe from bonfire, maybe from cigarettes, maybe from just smoking organic tobacco, doesn't matter because it's the actual smoking process that affects the lungs and the respiratory system. And I'm pretty sure it even creates acidity within the body because technically, I mean, naturally, we're not supposed to be smoking anything. We should be eating our foods naturally, the way Mother Nature provides the food right from the tree, right from the bush, right from the bush. So we need to realize that let's go back to our true nature. Now, we don't live in a totally natural environment as well. A lot of us still live in the cities and we just live totally unnatural. Everything in the supermarket is tainted in some way. So, again, going to the local farmers markets, buying from there, and striving to grow as much food as we possibly can is the ideal. And so, that is my view on cigarettes and alcohol. Again, they both create acidity within the body. Okay? They both create acidity within the body. Cigarettes or smoking or this actual smoke itself, any kind of smoke, cannot be good for the lungs in any way, shape, or form. And so I know for sure alcohol creates acidity within the body. There is, I'm pretty sure, even some side effects of any type inhaling any type of smoke. Of course, the more organic and the more natural the product is, of course, the better it is, but it doesn't mean it's healthy, you know. Just like they say red wine is healthy. I mean, it may be healthy, but there's some negative implications to wine, consuming alcohol, because wine is alcohol. Why would we want to be putting alcohol in our bodies? It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's acidic. If you look at the percentage of alcohol, you will see 4%, 8%, 12%, whatever it is. You can even find 100% proof. And it's like, why would you want to put that poison in our bodies? why would we want to put acidic foods and beverages into our bodies? Doesn't make any sense. Let's stop this. If we want to be the healthiest we possibly can and not end up in any hospital, then we have to eliminate these things from our from our mouths, going into our mouths. And also another thing is that just remember that anything that is not natural, that's not coming from the tree or the bush themselves, if it's packaged, if it's not meant to be taken, don't do it. If it doesn't come right off the tree naturally, and if we are heating it in some way, it is not natural. So we have to get the food, get the beverages, get anything that we're consuming, get it in its raw form. Raw. Now, raw does not mean it's fermented. Raw does not mean it is an alcoholic form. Raw does not mean we are smoking something. So that is the healthiest way to consume, to nourish our bodies. Right now, I'm consuming the purest young coconut water, and it's incredible. I'm just smelling it itself now. This is not probably not the best coconut, but I'll check to see how the other ones are. And that's about it, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it useful, please do give it a thumbs up and share it around with all your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and to my email newsletter. And don't forget also to get my books so I can continue creating these videos and publishing them on Facebook and YouTube and everywhere else. So thanks a lot for joining me. I'll see you soon.